Welcome once again to another edition of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. Based on my calculations and my math, I believe this is my 150th Shelf Life Online video review. It's been fun and I'm enjoying them, and hopefully you're enjoying them as well too. This time out, I'm bringing to your attention two great books. They are related subject-wise, and they are more than highly recommended. The first one is The Donnellys, Volume 1, Powder Keg, 1840 to 1880. This is written by John Little, and it's published by ECW Press. It retails for $24.99. Much has been written over the past century plus about, well, they were called the Black Donnellys, and they were one of the most notorious and infamous families in Canada. They lived in Lucan, in Badolph Township area, and their history precedes them because they were seen as one of the most horrible families in creation. They came from Ireland in the 1840s, and immediately they were hated by a lot of the townspeople. Things happened. There was arson, animals were injured, and immediately people pointed their finger at the Donnellys. Now, it was never proven in many of the cases that they were the ones who were responsible, but they got such a bad reputation. Now, the father, James, not too long after he came to Canada, he was charged with manslaughter for killing a man and sent to Kingston Penitentiary. This made Johanna, the mother, she was left alone to raise her 8 children, the 8 Donnelly children. So the main part about the book is John Little really goes into detail. We thought we'd known everything about the Donnellys, but he gives us so much more insight and so much more information as to how they grew, how they evolved, that they bought the farmland. They were a hardworking family, no question about that. But it's just that they rubbed people the wrong way, and soon the townspeople were plotting against them, figuring that they had to get the Donnellys out of there and fast. So this book goes, as I mentioned, from 1840 to 1880, and as well, at the back of the book, there's over 100 pages of notes. So it is very thorough. The reference material used here is impeccable, and John Little should be highly congratulated for all that he's done, because he has really done a fantastic job of researching and telling the story. Now, Book 1, of course, evolves into Book 2. This is Volume 2 of the Donnellys, Massacre, Trial, and Aftermath, from 1880 to 1916. It picks up where the other book left off, and this is published by ECW Press as well for $24.99. And John Little, once again in Volume 2, shows the same flair for detail and storytelling as he did in the very first volume. As noted, the book, picks up where the angry mob of about 20 people is plotting to go to the Donnelly farm to, well, massacre the family. They went there in the dead of night at 1 a.m. They brought guns, pitchforks, shillelaghs, clubs, garden tools, anything they could get their hands on. And they went to the farmhouse, and immediately they began the systematic slaughter of those that were in the house. A niece, Bridget Donnelly, had come from Ireland, and she hid under the bed, hoping to survive, but they found her and they beat her up too. They clubbed the people, they did everything to them imaginable. And the angry mob was just out of control, of course, and then they went to the next farmhouse and killed another Donnelly when they opened the door. One of the sons, as soon as he opened the door, the shotgun blast, and that was it. Then they burned the farm with the bodies inside, and it was said that when they got there, they found very little human remains. They found a heart, livers, bones, skulls. It must have been a horrible sight. But the angry mob, they were happy that they killed a lot of the Donnellys. And so this book also talks about the subsequent trial. And they were almost afraid to prosecute them because they thought it would give a bad name to the area. Even though these people had done horrible atrocities to the family, cold-blooded murder, and eventually those that were charged were let off. And so the prosecutors basically had to accept the fact that justice would not be served. No one was going to jail for the murders. And when you read that, that's a little difficult to take. But John Little, again, talks in detail about the prosecutors who wanted to see justice, prevail for the family and the surviving Donnellys. And they had to live with the fact that their family was murdered and that the guilty people who were part of the murders were walking around the Lucan area. So it really is a horrible page from Canada's history, and whether the Donnellys were as bad as everybody said they were, that's up for debate as well too. They weren't saints, but a lot of people liked them, that they did a lot for people. They volunteered their time and help for their neighbors. So anyways, that is the second book. So the two books combined are amazing reading, almost 1,000 pages total between the two of them. So if you're looking for the ultimate comprehensive look at the Donnellys, these are the two books for you. You cannot go wrong, and they're great historical books about this part of Ontario. So that is the two books. And once again, thank you for watching video review number 150. And hopefully you will send me your comments, positive and negative. I enjoy seeing your emails. So as always, stay tuned for the next episodes of Shelf Life Book Reviews Online. And as always, stay safe, stay sane, and do stay in touch. Bye for now.